All right, the CO2 exposed table is what we're going to do now. This table is, as the title says, focused on CO2 exposure, and we're reducing recovery time so that we don't have as much time in between to get rid of CO2, thus exposing us to more CO2 and creating an adaptation. That's what the point of this program is. So when you do this, you're going to need to know your max breath hold, whichever you tested in the beginning or test now. And then you're going to take 60% of that and apply it to your rounds, okay? And I'll explain that in 1 second. Also, your breath rate for the hold and for your breathe up are going to be as so. Breath rate for the hold. So basically that means right before we hold, what's your last breath, okay? Your last breath is going to be, it's going to be 75% in, 100% out, 100% in. That's your last 3 breaths technically. And if you're looking at your timer and you're using the Stamina app, like I recommend, that gives you like a 10-second countdown. It'll say 10, and then it'll be 5, 4. As soon as it hits 5, that's when you'll probably start doing this, and you're going to time that. And each round you can kind of perfect it, but you want to make sure so that last breath, that 100% in, is going to be right when it says start. Okay. Or if you're doing the timer, it's real easy. Your last breath in, you hold and you start, whatever. Now, a second thing is when you take that 100% in, if it's 105 or 110% in, if you're taking a big ass breath, it can be uncomfortable, distracting, so you can just let a little bit out to get some pressure out. If you have a ton of pressure, it's not going to be that good for your hold practice anyways, all right? And then your breathe up. That means how you're breathing the rest of the time. So for the first round, 2 minutes, you're just going to follow a pendulum breath, ideally. And this is again another place where you want to play with different breathing rates and protocols. So for now, let's go 5 in, 5 out, no pause, just real steady pendulum breath. If you want to calm yourself down a little bit more, hack or cheat the system there, you can work on lengthening your exhales. 5 in, 8 out. 5 in, 8 out. It's going to be the best general breath to use. Again, if you find another breath you want to play with and see what your times are between it, go ahead and do that. All right, so you got your 60% max breath hold for today. Let's say it's 1 minute or 60 seconds. All right, that means 60% of that is going to be, well, 60% of 60 seconds is going to be, sorry, I got to do math in my head. What do we got here? 36 seconds. Sorry, stupid. 36 seconds. I probably did that wrong, who knows? That sounds right though. So 60% of a minute, 36 seconds, that's going to be your time that you're going to hold your breath every round. So we're going to do breathe up, hold, and then you get your rounds. We're doing 8 rounds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. On our breathe up, our first round is going to be a nice long 2 minutes. Each round we go down 45 or 15 seconds. Until you're at your final 15, okay? For the first week that we're doing this breath, this CO2 exposed table, we're doing it every other day pretty much. And then your hold is gonna be 36. All the way down until this round, okay? So the way we're going, 2 minutes, 145, 36, 145, 36. Again, if you have a Stamina app or any other app that does timing, then you'll see this will be automated. You plug this in once and you can kind of continue doing it, and you can change this as you perfect. I recommend, as you go, weekly we do a max breath hold retest. You can do it more often if you want, but I think weekly is fine practice. The second week you can adjust this now. Say you get your max breath hold is 1.5 minutes on the next week or something, then you adjust, do the math, plug it in. Now, the way that I do it differently than freediving is on that last 15 seconds, we're gonna do another max breath hold. You're free to time it, or you're free to just vibe with it and see where it takes you. So you'll be a 15-second breathe up right into your max breath hold. You may be impressed on what you can handle by doing all this breathing beforehand, okay? It will probably be better than that, for sure. So that's one way we differ. That's the first week. Second week, you have the option to do this active. So week 2, we are doing this active. Active means walking, and that's about it. I mean, if running is so chill to you that you can do this while running, play with it, but I think walking is gonna be all you need. So you'll set your timer and you'll go for a walk. Recovery is active, you're just doing your 2 minutes of breathing, okay, and then you're doing your hold. Thing that changes there is that we were doing 60% your max breath hold. Now on the active walk, we're doing 30%. So doing half. This may seem a lot easier. It's going to be a lot harder, okay? So see what you can handle on that. If that's too much for you and you still haven't really progressed by week 2, stick with this, that's totally fine. Now, if you are continuing after the first 4 weeks, going back into the top of the program, now you might want to bring in this. Again, this whole program is always going to be what works best for you and kind of where you go, okay? Because we're trying to put you on a path to get to those results. I'm giving you the tools, and then you are creating the plan.